The Tai Tong is race 8. It's class 3 at Sha Tin and at 1,600 metres. Giant Turtle has the £10 claim for Alfie Chan. More than this, a winner at the back end of last season, as was Winning Delight. Alcatraz on debut, former Italian galloper. We go down the bottom to World Famous, who ran well behind Cordyceps when second. Beauty Day General Dino carries saddlecloth at number 14. Now, Chunfar information. Alcatraz, Jimu, Unicron Jury and Bethany have all been there in the last 30 days. How does this unfold, speed map-wise, Tom?
Magnificent and Beauty Day are the top two up front there. More than this, he was able to get a lovely run into the race last time out from pretty much a trailing position. He's got gate 5 this time round. He had gate 1 last time. So you'd say he can potentially get down there and receive that nice run. The newcomer Alcatraz, when he's been able to win, he's been able to do it and do it well from prominent positions. So he might just find a little bit tough first up. Under
good holders. More than this did come good at the end of last season, winning a race from his 4 starts, so he kept improving. He looks nice here in the mornings and he's got a good chance. Barrier 5, he should get a nice run, as we saw from that speed map, and his work's been pretty good. Vinci now yet to win here in Hong Kong from his 10 starts, but he's gone pretty close and ran a really nice second at the back end of last season behind Happy Sebring. He hasn't taken a backward step over the summer, and he's looked good here in the mornings, and another nice piece of work from him. And World Famous, I thought his work's been pretty good leading into this. He goes nicely. Joe Moreira and Tony Cruz teaming up once again, barrier 1, and it was a nice second behind Cordyceps with him.
All right, 2 last start winners in this race. More than this and Winning Delight. Once again, let's hear from Casper Founds.
Winning Delight, Casper, caught a few punters off guard when he won first up. Did he surprise you that day?
Well, I had him in my tips, but obviously at 50 to 1 he was over the odds for me. But it's always, again, pleasant surprise when any horse wins first up in Hong Kong. It's so tough over here, especially for PPs when they come in certainly rated higher than what they should be. That's for sure, and history tells you that they come in way higher than what they should be. It was a good effort, and that was 1,400. Obviously now we go to a mile. He's drawn bad, so he'll just go back, and then hopefully he'll be hitting the line strongly the last part.
How's he been over the last couple of months since that race?
Yeah, he's fine. He looks a treat, very healthy, so hopefully he can give us a big run. We've got a lot of weight to carry, but like anything, he's a horse that looks to have a bit of a future.
We saw Southern Legend trial this morning, Casper. What are your thoughts on the trial, and when can we see him go to the races for the first time this season?
Yeah, the trial was just an easy trial today. Just brought him out to Happy Valley to have a day out. He'll have his first run on the 1st of October over 1,400. And then basically 3 weeks later on the 20th, he'll go to the mile, where he's probably start to get a bit more competitive.
All right, so National Day Cup and Celebration Cup on the 1st, and a nice positive wrap there from Casper regarding Winning Delight. The other debutant this season, who won at the back end of last season, was More Than This. He got a nice saloon run down there on the rail, and he was able to dart through underneath and reeled off a 21.98 final 400 to stick his beak out and get the cash. Still a 3-year-old, this guy too. He'll turn 4 at the end of the calendar year.
I think he's got plenty of upside. You can see there he was receiving that nice saloon run up the inside there, rallied hard to win. He closed off pretty nicely in a recent turf trial as well when he was 5th. He wasn't too far from them, but there's plenty of scope and further depth with this horse, Paul.
Yeah, he carried 110 pounds and got the perfect run, and he's got to carry 23 more pounds. But again, he's drawn low.
We saw Assimilate in that race too, and he was a measuring stick against Winning Delight in the replay before. Vinci threatened to win a race a few times last season. He ran 2nd twice, 3rd once and 4th twice. Matthew Poon takes a little claim. What have you made of him going in, Paul?
I think he's quite forward, actually. Look, I found a spot for Vinci in the numbers. I think he's a leading chance in this particular race. He hit the line nicely here, and he's done this a couple of times as well. Has Vinci and Matthew Poon aboard. He knows the horse pretty well. So if he can reproduce this, I think he can be in the finish. And he was only just bobbed out of it.
He got to the line as good as Happy Sebring, didn't he?
21.93 is closing sectional, so if he was able to replicate that, sit a little bit closer, he could be right there at the firing end.
Yeah, one of a few chances I would have thought. World Famous would have to be considered. Beauty Day wasn't far away, and Unicron Jury normally builds into his prep. And now he's had the one run underneath the belt and he's got a good gate.
World Famous, he's indicating that a win is close. He's got gate 1 this time round with Joe Moreira. Last time over 1,400 metres behind Cordyceps. He closed off pretty well. He was in the market on that occasion as well. He got into the clear at the 400 and finished off reasonably well. And others in this beauty day, he's pretty honest. He's just got that duck egg next to his name. A lot of placings, but it always gives you a good run.
Yeah, look, I'm going to go with the World Famous. I thought it was a pretty good run, and with that run under his bat up to 1,600 metres, looks ideal.
All right, so World Famous on top for Paul. Who fill the minors?
Well, Vincey there, we saw Vincey hit the line strongly. I think he's come on again, so I've got him in for second. Assimilate's had the benefit of a run. And a horse that's got a really good fresh record is the 12 Red Elise. Did run some really consistent races last season as well, so we'll put him in. He's drawn awkward, but I think he can run on late and he'll be one for value. 10, 6, 5, 12.
6 on top for me. Vincey, like the way he finished off in that race behind Happy Sebring last time out. I'm going to throw in Assimilate again. He's on the back up. They were wanting to sit a little bit further forward last time out, but they weren't able to do so. More than this, and Winning Delight, I'll throw him in 6, 5, 2 and 3.
Yeah, it's a good competitive race. Beauty day for me. I think he might potentially try and lead, get a few cheap sectionals and kick strongly, hoping so anyway. So that's at race 8.